maybe this video is jumping about on a timeline a little bit because it's a little bit this week and then a little bit last week. So I hope that's okay, and I hopefully in the editing process I can put it together in a cohesive fashion that makes sense. But yeah. So welcome to my studio again on a beautiful Tuesday sunny morning, and I think the weather's going to be like this tomorrow as well, and it's absolutely gorgeous in here. I love the morning light, I really love it, before it gets hot in the day, and yeah, it just feels really fresh and new. And I get the morning sunshine from the two big windows over there as well, and then in the afternoon the sun moves round up to the skylight up there and it comes in there. And then if I want to paint and it's too sunny over there, I've got my wet area with perfect light. So yeah, I'm really lucky with the light in this room and the way it moves around. Because obviously you don't know what the light's like until you actually live with it for a few days or different seasons and things like that. So yeah, it's really important, I think, when you're doing something like painting or drawing, to have the right light. Anyway, after making last week's video with the talking about my dream, and I did some writing about my dream, and if you haven't seen that video from last week, I'll link it somewhere up there. But after I'd finished filming that video, I actually went on to do some pages in my art journal all about my dream. So that's what I ended up with. I had a Sleeping Beauty, and she was already drawn in there, so I just kind of painted her in. And then I've added one of my fairy postcards, and then yeah, just worked around there. And it really helped me process all the meaning and think about it a little bit more deeply. And also it was really, really fun. So I thought for this week's video, I could share that whole process with you. So I'll slot that footage in now for you, which is actually from last week. And I'm thinking about the dream that I was telling you about earlier. Maybe, I think, Airy Fairy or Pandora's Box would be quite a good one. Probably Airy Fairy, because at least she's flying. So I'm going to incorporate her into a journal spread to do with the dream stuff that I was talking about. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And I'll film it for you like this so you can see on my desk. Anyway, I'll go and gather some bits and bobs and find some spare pages in here if I can, and yeah, get started. I found Sleeping Beauty pages and I thought, perfect. Sleeping, dreaming, flying, falling. So I'm just going to Mod Podge my print down. Yeah, Mod Podge it rather than that medium. Yeah, so I'm going to do something a little bit similar that we did on these pages. And by the way, the napkin, the serviette of the cats, is by an artist called Rowena Wachtmeister. And I didn't know who the artist was, so somebody commented. In fact, I had a couple of people comment, so thank you so much for sharing that. I've added a link to her website and also credited her on that video. So yeah, if you want to go and look her up, check out last week's video, and the link's in the description box for her. But yeah, she's apparently really famous, and I looked at her website and she's got the most beautiful artwork, which I absolutely loved. So it's always good to make sure that you credit the artist when you can. Yeah. So I'm just going to Mod Podge Airy Fairy down. I'm going to get plenty on there as well, so that she's nice and glued down. I like the strength of the Mod Podge. It's nice and strong. I think somebody asked me last week how I wash my brush out once I've been using Mod Podge. I take my jar to the kitchen or the toilet, which is because I don't have a sink in my room, and then I run lots and lots of hot water and really sort of bash it against the jar, if you like, and give it lots of rinses in quite hot water. I don't tend to use soap on my brushes for unless I really have to, but because it dries them out. But yeah, that seems to work for me. And then someone suggested as well, thank you so much, that I super glue. In last week's video, you'll see that this brush was in 2 halves, and I tape it with plastic-free parcel tape. But yeah, someone suggested I super glued it, and I could super glue it, but yeah, I just usually find tape a little bit more convenient. So I think she is glued down now, so I'm going to leave her to dry and then come back. So I've just printed off a few words and then placed them on my page, and I'm just going to Mod Podge them down. So there she is.
So she's Sleeping Beauty is kind of that way up, and the book orientation is this way up. Airy Fairy, of course, and these are some of the words from her the poem. Where did I put that? Don't know. So here's the poem, and the part that I have taken out is ground in trees and buried deep. So I buried deep my tiny little fairy feet in sacred Mother Earth. So reaching for the stars but keeping one foot on the ground is kind of what I was thinking. She's teaching this one who seems to be floating in an upside down fashion and about to lose her freedoms. So she's going to teach her how to fly, I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I was going to stick that somewhere, but I don't think it needs it, so I'm going to leave it there. And there's Airy Fairy, and she definitely deserves to be in the book, for sure. And if you want to hear the whole poem of Secrets of a Fairy, it's actually the first ever YouTube video I did in 2017 when I was going to start my YouTube channel, but then I got shy, so I changed my mind, and yeah, but there I'm reading the whole poem out in that video, so I'll link that somewhere up there.
And I also wanted to share some of my thoughts about why I think that journaling around dreams, art journaling and writing journaling as well, can be really helpful and useful to us. I think the first thing that dream journaling and dreaming can actually help us do is process emotions and process experiences and help us let go. So if we've had difficult times in our life, I think it helps us process and just let go of some of those difficult things. So first of all, I'm no expert on dream psychology or anything like that. This is purely my own experiences and my thoughts about dreams and dream journaling. So I think dreams can help us process feelings and emotions and experiences, both good and bad, and that can in turn help us let go. So let go of any difficult emotions or any difficult experiences that we've had, and helps us move forward. Where sometimes our emotions and experiences can leave us in a dark place, I think this can help us lighten the load, if you like. And that sort of leads on to my belief that dreams really help with mental health and anxiety. And so processing them for a second time when you're journaling, I think gives it an extra boost of benefit. And I know for myself from going through all these heavy lockdowns that we've had here in the UK, and in fact we're still in lockdown, even though we're supposedly coming out in a week or two, slowly but surely. My experience of that has definitely been that I've had more bad dreams and more dreams that have woken me up in the night. So I definitely believe that my dreaming process has helped me get through these times and been a helpful tool in my toolbox, if you like. I also think that by writing down our dreams, if we remember them, and we have to write them down straight away, unless say it's a reoccurring dream where you have it repeatedly, so therefore it becomes more ingrained in your memory. But usually if you do remember a bit of a dream, you wake up and then within seconds it's gone. So for me, remembering my dreams and writing them down and rereading old dream journals and things like that can really spark new ideas and inspire me. Sometimes that's to do with making paintings and making artwork. So I might be partway through a painting and then I will be a bit stuck on it and not quite know what to do next. But then I have a dream and I kind of get that inspiration from that and move forward with the painting or the artwork. Or sometimes it can be a business idea of maybe a new product for my shop, or something new I want to try, or a new tutorial I want to make, or something like that. So yeah, I definitely love that aspect of dreaming. I think sometimes we dream just purely for process, or maybe we've watched a film the night before and we might be kind of reliving certain parts of a film or something like that. And then I think there are other dreams that do have hidden insights and messages for us. And I think by journaling with the dream, writing and creating artwork maybe in an art journal, but certainly just writing can help us realise and become aware of those messages and insights for us. I can often, before I go to sleep, ask myself a question. So if I've got a problem that I'm struggling with and I don't know what to do, or something's going on in my life and I'm not sure what to do, I ask myself that question before I go to sleep, and then I wake up with the answers and the realizations, or maybe another viewpoint of something that I hadn't thought about. Sometimes the dream will show me a completely new perspective, if you like, something that I wouldn't really have thought of. And it can help me solve a problem in a completely different way. I mean, I'm no psychologist or anything like that, but yeah, I've read many times about the fact that the subconscious mind is much more active than the conscious mind. I don't know if it's 90 something percent more active than the conscious mind. And I think the dream world is obviously the subconscious mind in action, and we get a little peek into some of the hidden secrets in there. And I think if we are journaling with our subconscious messages from our dreams, that can help link the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, if you know what I mean. It's like linking the two together, and finding the hidden solutions, messages, and things like that in there. And I think that's why it seems as well such a mystery to us when we have these really outlandish, crazy, seemingly crazy anyway, dreams. And I think journaling can help us unravel and solve those mysteries, for me anyway. I mean, obviously, sometimes dreams can be hugely unpleasant and actually affect you for a whole day or even longer afterwards, with a really bad nightmare, for example. And I often find that I get more nightmares when I'm more anxious and more stressed. That can trigger nightmares. Although sometimes I get a nightmare or a scary part in my dream just because I need to get up to go to the loo or something like that. So, yeah, it's kind of like the body's way of waking me up. But again, I think when we do have bad dreams, it can really help by journaling. And by that I mean writing it out, writing out how we feel, writing out what scared us, and processing it in that way. And then maybe moving on to some creative collage or some painting or something like that. But writing, I think, really enhances the processing of it all. Yeah. It's almost like our subconscious mind is writing a letter to our conscious mind by writing it out afterwards. Yeah, and sometimes I do that. I write "Dear Wendy" and then write the things out. And sometimes when I'm writing it out, more information comes out than when I'm thinking about it. Because I will, get up in the morning and then tell James all about my dream and then how weird it was or silly or scary to help process it. But then if I do writing about it as well, I tend to get more insights from that process. Very interesting. I think the other interesting thing about dreams is how easily we forget them. And I know there are some people who actually wrote in the comments last week that said, I never remember my dreams. And I think it's because there's a part of your brain that stores your memories. So whatever needs to happen in order to store a memory in the conscious brain, I think it's what part of the brain is it? Is it the hippocampus, something like that? I don't know, you'll have to look that up. But yeah, the part of the brain that needs to be activated isn't triggered by dreaming. So maybe there's certain messages that we're not supposed to have. That's the ones we don't remember. But yeah, it can be really frustrating because you have it in your mind. You wake up and you know it, and then 2 minutes later it's gone. So yeah. And I did explain in last week's video how I record my dreams down in the Day One app on my computer. And I kind of have my eyes closed so I don't have to have light in my eyes, and I just type it out, put it on my laptop. I loved reading last week all the comments you'd put, because lots of you had shared dreams that you'd had, and there were some really strange, interesting, bizarre, scary dreams. I really appreciated that. It was really interesting to read. Yeah, so if you want to go back and read some of those comments from each other, then yeah, go back to last week's video and have a little read through, because yeah, there were some really good ones in there. There's definite shamanic background in dream work as well, isn't there? Where the first thing you do is you learn to lucid dream, where you are in a dream but you're aware you're dreaming. And then that kind of moves through different stages of training yourself, if you like, to become like able to astrally project and things like that. So yeah, it's a really interesting thing to look into. I've definitely sparked my own interest, and I think I'm going to look up a book about that kind of aspect of it all as well. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in dream work, or if you're a dream expert, or yeah, because I'm sure there's loads of things that I haven't mentioned in this video. So there's the finished pages, and yeah, thanks so much for keeping me company while I did my art journaling this afternoon. And I think I'm going to go home now and also end this video, so leave you in peace. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.